Okay, Challenge Science video update for January. All right, so in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going on in the class in terms of what we're learning. Talk a little bit about our all or nothing quizzes, and mention briefly course selection as it pertains to Challenge Science students in terms of 9th grade science coursework. Okay, so let's start off with what we're working on. We just completed Winter Wonderland Week. 3 exams in 3 days, and again, the whole reason behind that was to expose your child to the idea of simultaneously studying, taking inventory of what they've learned in terms of their strengths and weaknesses, time management. So ultimately, it's a way to get the kids practice, in dealing for a midterm down the road in the high school. We will have a spring celebration week, probably around the end of March. You'll get information about that. But to prepare for that, anytime we give an exam, we go over the test for an entire period, and the kids, we give them a T-chart, they write down their strengths and weaknesses, and then they put it away, right? And then they pull those documents out, I think a couple weeks before those tests, and it helps them plan their time effectively, helps them study the material effectively, and more importantly, it helps them be efficient, where they can spend more time on their weaknesses and a little less time on their strengths. So we're trying to, infuse a lot of different study strategies, study skills, time management skills in order to make your child more battle tested and prepared to take multiple honors or AP courses down the road in the high school when it really counts. Okay, so right now we are transitioning to the physics unit, and this is probably my favorite part of the year. We do a lot of physics for an 8th grade course. I do as much as I can in the realm of motion and forces, meaning, right now we're differentiating between speed, velocity, acceleration, but we're taking it one step further by graphing data, and we're, analyzing, well, how would this set of data on a velocity graph look on an acceleration graph? What's the difference between positive and negative acceleration? And I'm actually early on here infusing the idea of how do forces impact acceleration. So we're really learning a lot of different concepts at once. After this, we're going to be doing complicated word problems using these things called kinematic equations, which involve a lot of algebra. But again, allowing kids to look at a scenario, write down little details, draw a picture. It's really important to draw a picture. We're going to learn that soon. List your givens, and then come up with a plan to attack to solve the problem. So there's a lot of higher level thinking, and really this is turning into a math course for the next couple months. And it's really neat because I'm always saying the math makes the science easy, and the math proves the science. So the kids, are getting that good, foundation of algebra, and believe it or not, a little bit of trig down the road, and they're going to see that connection between the math and the science. So it's really exciting. The next big packet will be doing Newton's laws of motion. And we're actually adding a new section of momentum and impulse at the end of that packet. And then after that, we'll be doing circular motion, calculating centripetal force, analyzing scenarios, with microgravity, free fall, you name it, we're going to do it as much as we possibly can here at the 8th grade level. It's quite exciting, and should ask your child in the next couple weeks to take a look at what they're doing, just see what they're doing. For an 8th grade course, it's pretty impressive. So. Your child's being motivated here to work hard, please reinforce it at home. Again, it's up to them to get the job done on their own, but please support them, and once in a while check in with them from time to time to make sure they're on top of their plan, make sure they're on top of their work, and are following the itinerary that I give them in a timely manner, okay? So again, it's really good to be supportive. All right, simultaneously though, we're doing something we started a couple years ago. Many of you know about this already. Students are starting to memorize a few per week, these things called polyatomic ions, and it's a chemistry thing. They're pretty simple to memorize, and I'm starting it now. And they need to know these completely, and they should, the way it's set up, where 4th Martin period, they know these ions, they'll be able to learn a lot more chemistry, okay? Chemistry in the 4th Martin period is going to turn into more high-level application. And we're going to predict, well, what type of products do we get when these two things react? Will these two things react? Why? Well, what if they don't? Prove it based on what you know in the periodic table. Like, there's a lot of application. Why does soap dissolve oil? Why do we need water to get rid of this? Like, everything starts to come together. So we go very high level. The kids are going to need to know these ions to write chemical formulas. And if the kids can do that, it makes fourth Martin period much more manageable in terms of understanding the content. So I've made such an important emphasis with this, where each week they'll be getting a quiz on these ions, and it's already organized, they know how it works, but if they get one wrong, it's a 0. It's called the all or nothing quizzes, and again, many of you know about this already, you've lived through it already. And it really forces them to study, it forces them to know them, but also, if you look at it this way, if you study, these are easy points to get each week. Because, you know, each quiz just gets added into the total points for the Martin period. So we do these every Friday. By the, middle of the third Martin period, I guess, or end of the third Martin period, they'll have taken about 80 to 110 points of these little individual or nothing quizzes. They add up to about 80 or 110 over the 9-10 week period. So if a kid gets a 0 in one of them, it's a small little point deduction. But most kids get them all right, and it's easy points. And they learn them really well. And they're able to write formulas really well, and they're able to learn chemistry really well. It actually gets to the point where the kids who do what they need to do, and they're provided on a piece of paper, on Quizlet and everything else, they actually want more of these quizzes. And I'm at the point where no more quizzes. You know, as we end physics, there's going to be, I don't do them anymore, because they're easy points. So I told the kids, look at it with a positive attitude. The reason why it's all or nothing is to make sure you study them well, okay? To make sure you know, because they're that important. But again, if they look at it with a positive attitude, they're compiling easy points, memorization, recall, and they're learning these ions, getting ready for fourth Martin period to finish the year strong. So there's a lot of good that comes out of this. I started doing these all or nothing quizzes with the current juniors at the high school. It was quite risky to do it the first year, but guess what? It worked, and we haven't stopped since, and it's worked just fine. So if your child has a positive attitude and has fun with it, I know I have a lot of kids coming in SSS, studying them together and everything. It's kind of neat. So tell them to keep on top of their ions. It's pretty simple to know. All right, so we're doing that too. Course selection. Okay. There will be a separate course selection video that Dr. Siggins and I will produce in the next week or two that talks about course selection in terms of the whole building, in terms of math, what is it, social studies, or whatever else. For this course, for Challenge Science, the options for next year will be Academic Earth Science, Honors Earth Science, and Honors Biology. Now, once again, many of you who are watching this, you know, if you've gone through this before, nothing's really changed over the last couple of years. You can turn me off right now if you want. Okay, you know what's going to happen. You've been through it all before. But parents that are new, you know, this could be a stressful time. That's why I'm taking the time right now to kind of give you a little bit of a heads up as to what's going to happen. So please watch this and please listen, okay? It's really important. I know we're all busy, but I think it's important that we as parents take the time to know what's going on, you know, in regards to our children in terms of their progress in school. So what's going to happen is this. They're going to take Academic Earth Science, Honors Earth Science, or Biology. Now, to be eligible for biology, you have to have an 88 average in this course or above. Honors Earth Science, 80 to 87 average. Academic Earth Science, which is like college prep, you know, the regular track, below an 80. Okay? So, what'll happen is this. And I have the paper right here, and you'll get all this information. There will be a course selection assembly with the 9th grade house principal, Mr. Rigner, and Dr. Weidenbaugh on Thursday, January 16th during the school. They will come home with this paper with all these different courses on here. And everybody gets excited and nervous and everything else. They will have about a week or so to get a recommendation from their teacher and to decide what course they're going to take. Okay? There will also be a parent meeting on Thursday, January 23rd. Thursday, January 23rd at the 9th grade center for parents to hear what the 9th grade house principals have to say about high school, and also a little bit more about the courses. But what will happen here is this. when your child gives me their paper and I sign off, literally, I don't even know why I sign off. I don't understand the point of it anymore, okay? So please, listen carefully. I will look at their grade in Skyward, and whatever number they have, that's what I'll sign off on. That's what I'm told to do. So what if your kid is an 86? Does that mean I don't think your child can take biology? No. I have to sign what I'm told by the number. So if you have an 88 or above at this midpoint time, sign up for bio. If you have an 87 or 80 to an 87, do me a favor, okay, listen carefully. Sign your child up for Honors Earth Science. Let me say that again. Sign your child up for Honors Earth Science. Well, what if you want your child in biology? Well, okay, it's not just about what you want as the parent. I know we all want our kids to be successful and at the highest level. It's also about what the child wants. Okay, it's hard. You got to think like that. Okay, because it's their life, it's their future. Now, regardless, sign them up for Honors Earth Science based on the number. Now, what if your child shows growth and improvement through the rest of this year? Okay, well, guess what can happen? You can change the recommendation to biology at the end of the school year. Okay, let me say that again. You can change the recommendation, the sign up to biology at the end of the year. And I think that's a really good system because here's my thing, look at it this way. What if your child struggled a little bit in marking period 1 or 2, but then shows growth? Well, now you have a whole year of data, a whole year experience to make a more cognizant decision to see, should my child be in biology or should my child be in Honors Earth Science? That's why I say sign them up for whatever their grade shows. It can always change. You can always, I guess, call it upgrade. But take your time. And here's the other thing too. Let's say your child wants biology, but they have an 85. Well, as a parent, here's what I would say. Hey, nice job with the 80-45. Challenge science, the hard class. I'm going to put you in Honors Earth Science, and I want you to continue to show growth, which is the most important thing here. Continue to show growth, continue to improve your study skills, continue to improve your self-discipline, show improvement. Let's see where you're at in June, and then we'll reevaluate the decision. Do you see how that works? To me, that is the best action to take as a parent, okay? You're giving that child a chance to work towards something, right? Your child sees the parameters, and hopefully it will motivate them to grow and improve, because that's what we want. The biggest thing coming out of this class is this: improve study skills, improve self-discipline, improve time management, and a great foundation of knowledge of science. Okay? So please, it's your child. You can do whatever you want. All right? And that's fine. I'm not going to stop you. But the safest, what I've seen through the years, most successful way to navigate this is follow whatever the grade is at this point, allow your child to grow, allow your child to earn that placement in biology. So what happens in June if they improved, but they got to an 87? Okay, shoot me an email, we'll talk about it. Okay? Shoot me an email, we'll talk about it. Okay? You can override. Okay? But I really think it's important that you allow your child to grow and give them a full year to grow and give them some ownership and accountability. I think that's really going to be key. Again, so we'll give you more information about that as time goes on. So please follow that if you could, all right? And what I will do, because I know it can be very stressful. I mean, it'll be stressful for me as a parent when my kids go through this, right? And I teach, and I've been doing this 17, 20 years. So what I do is this. At some point, I'll put it on another email, we will have Alumni Day. Like we had for how to put up with challenge science and Winter Wonderland week back, I think it was early December. We're going to do another Alumni Day on course selection. And this year, I used to invite 9th graders to do the course selection assembly. But now again, I'm going to change it to 10th graders. And the reason why I say 10th graders is because they can give your 8th grade child feedback about their entire ninth grade experience. If I invite ninth graders back here, they've only been there for about a half a year. I think it's a little more productive to bring back 10th graders so they can talk about the entire ninth grade year to kind of give your child more feedback as to what it's like. And you know too, I have the grades right in front of me. I'm looking at all the ninth graders' grades in biology compared to how they did in challenge science. I'm now clicking on to my 10th grade list, how they did in challenge science, how they did in biology, how they're doing in honors chem, how they're doing in AP physics. I have that all in front of me right now, okay? Your child will see those grades without the names. Your child will see those grades and will see, wow, this kid got this in challenge science. Or here's a better way to look at it. Oh, look at this range of grades in challenge science over 2 years. How are these kids doing in high school? So your child will be given so much information that I think by June the decision will be really well thought out and well planned. So there's a lot of care here. There's a lot of information that's given because trust me, I check grades nonstop. You all have received, well, excuse me, not you all. Many of you that are now repeat parents have got many emails from me in the past, you know, looking at your child's high school grades. They're all recorded. They help me prepare kids better for high school. They help me set the curriculum for this course. So, you know, I want to see your child do well in high school just as much as you do. And you know that. Okay, and you parents that are new to this, I guess you'll see that down the road. Okay? So I care just as much about the course selection, how to do in high school as you do. Okay, so please consider my advice overall when it comes to course selection. Alright? So that's an update about the class. I gotta tell you, this year is awesome. These classes are amazing. I mean, we are covering so much. We'll cover even more than we ever did before. And the enthusiasm, I mean, it's been great, and we're going to keep it great. And there's going to be a lot more fun to be had, well, a lot more work, obviously, and a lot more fun to be had down the road. A couple other things. At the end of this marking period, you know, the grade will be posted. I will once again bring your child out to the hallway on a day in class and talk to them personally, just like a minute or two about some feedback about their grade and how they can improve. I really do think that's important that every kid gets some sort of tangible feedback about their progress. So we will continue to do that, and throughout the year I'll continue to update you about the class. So again, this is a lot of information. It can be stressful to new parents. Everything will work out, okay? If you have any questions, shoot me an email, all right? Thank you very much. Have a great day.